I refuse to accept nothing can be done with the roster stuff or that X contract is untradeable. I'm like, well, you can find somebody.
Well, we'll soon find out. What the Nuggets cannot afford, given this new dynamic, this new arrangement, what they cannot afford is this. They cannot afford to give the coach players that the coach does not want to play.
Yeah, isn't that
It's really
weird?
simple. It's a very simple formula here, right? I mean, sports should be very easy. The general managers, and I'll call them both that right there, because I'm not going to go through these titles. The titles are too long. I have to announce these guys today, and I can't remember the titles already. The people in charge are in charge and committed to give the coach the players the coach prefers to play. Not necessarily the players that they want to play. They're not the coach.
Can I?
Do you guys see it that way? Do you see it my way, or am I wrong? They should be giving the coach the players the coach prefers.
Because look, when I talked about organizational cohesion in the middle of all of that last year, that's what I mean. Like, you can't have one guy. I knew that things were off when this was said. And Vic, I think you could feel the same thing. Moj, you too. At like media day, when Malone and Booth were sat next to each other, there was like a tension in the room. It was really weird. And it's because Malone coached every game as if it was Game 7 of the finals. Every game.
Yeah. And
he was totally concerned with, I need a guy that I can put on the floor and trust right now. And when Booth said, I'm not concerned about back-to-back championships, I want, what did he say, 3 and 6 years?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that is not how Malone thinks at all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There was obviously a fork in the road. One went one way and one went the other, and it's not how it works. I mean, I think it's the general manager's job. It's a front office's job to provide the coach the best possible situation to win. Coach can't make those calls. You're the chef in the kitchen, Moshe. I'm going to go grocery shopping for you. I'm the guy that goes to the store and negotiates the deal. What do you need, chef? I'm not going to come back to you and say, hey, instead of using regular milk, here's some almond milk. I prefer. It's not how it works.
Correct.
I'm going to give you what you need to win, and that's how it should work.
That is correct. You don't think it's a collaborative effort, though? You don't think that Chris McFarland and Jared Bednar discuss?
Of course they do.
Guys and Joe, they all discuss guys, and I mean, the buck will stop with Josh Kroenke, but it doesn't mean that buck doesn't get passed around a lot and decide on how to spend that buck and so on and so forth before it gets there. I mean, this is where if the collaborative effort works, if it can work very well because you have seemingly good minds discussing things, hashing things out, making the best decisions for the franchise.
Where it goes bad, and this is the curse, some GMs in the league have so much power that they make moves that they think will work because they think they're coaching.
But
you're not coaching.
Correct.
You're not there every day. You're not in the locker room. You don't know the dynamic. You don't have that background or that feel. You're not the coach.
This is what's, I mentioned this earlier, and you guys tell me if this is fair or unfair. I know that the common thing for your typical Nugget fan to do is just throw double birds at Calvin Booth and say he sucks. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, there are very obvious things that he did that were wrong. You know, the Reggie Jackson trade was wrong. But as far as...
He also put the finishing touches on the only championship season in NBA franchise history.
But even beyond that, Vic, what I'm getting at is I almost find it hard to evaluate Booth as a GM overall because his vision for what would make the team successful was not implemented in a way that Michael Malone wanted, so I couldn't get a read on anything, really.
No, they had different visions, and that alone, you know, the more I think about it, the more it sort of angers me.
Yes.
Because I'm like, how can you guys have two entirely different visions here? How can you not come to terms? How can you not go inside a room, sit on a table, and figure this thing out, hash it out, man? How do you have two visions about your bench, about your rookies? That's just not going to work.
And you're right. Like, it's frustrating on two ends. It's frustrating because, hey, GM, why didn't you get on the same page as your head coach and give him the tools that he wanted? And at the same time, I think we can all agree, Moj, what do you think about this? Malone did things that might have hurt the team out of spite
Yeah.
which is like intentionally not playing guys as a bleep you is
can
what
I-
it
can
felt
I
like.
call out
Hold
some
on,
of these
Vic,
people?
Vic,
Hold
Vic,
on.
Vic, but I don't know if he did it out of spite. I think there could have been some of that in there. Or he just didn't think the guys could play. But I can see him going, you know what? This is not my guy. I'm not going to play him. I don't care if he can play. Go ahead, Vic.
I'm going to call out some of these people on Twitch. Quit being so dramatic. Let this thing play out a little bit. Bunch of drama queens this morning. Calm down.
You know what I noticed last night?
Jesus.
The world has really
Jesus.
become Jesus.
I mean, seriously.
The world has really become drama queen central.
Everybody's a drama queen. Everybody has a conclusion before they even see anything. You haven't even met these guys. You haven't talked to them. I haven't even talked to them. Oh, my God. Well, what are they doing? Shut up.
Well, I'll tell you, this goes back to like an age-old thing, okay? And again, we'll get a better read on this at noon today when they're introduced at the press conference. I've seen a lot of this from media members, by the way, that the Nuggets went on the cheap for their GM, and it's like, I always get confused when people talk about this stuff. Would I have been happy with a Bob Myers? Yeah, I would have. I think that Bob Myers is a really good mind, and I'll tell you what Bob Myers did in Golden State that I really liked. He found the unicorn in Steph Curry. How do I surround him with the proper pieces to make this thing really work? And that's where you find your Draymonds and guys like that, and I give him full credit for like trying to do that. At the same time, you've mentioned this before, Vic, the unknown commodity that has been hired by the Nuggets, and probably at the time that they were hired, they were accused of going on the cheap, ended up being Tim Conley, which was reportedly offered like an ownership stake until they found out that was illegal.
Listen, man, you cannot like the system that's in place. You can call them cheap. You can say whatever you want, but it's a proven process that's produced championship. It's produced good teams. It's produced you're in contention.
Yeah.
It's not like this isn't the Rockies. This isn't historically bad. What do you want?
You said it yesterday,
that
Moshe.
drives me insane.
Yeah, you said it yesterday.
What are your expectations here?
Yeah, if anybody even remotely wants to equate the Nugget situation with the Rockies, just stop immediately.
Are you dumb?
Check yourself, put your head in the freezer for about 4 hours, and then get back to me.
I'm so mad now. No, I mean, I just can't. I don't suffer fools today. I'm not going to suffer fools. Do I think a co-GM, whatever this thing is, ideal? I would prefer one person in charge. That's me.
Me too.
That's me. Okay? We're going to find out today how they come off. I'm going to find out. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to let it play out.
I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime in. It's gone.
You know, when they, I'm going to tell you something. When they hired Tim Conley, I go, who the hell's this guy? No idea who this guy is. Proved to be a pretty damn good, talented GM, right?
Yeah.
Then they promoted Calvin Booth. And
Well,
at the
hold
time,
on.
I was like,
Even before that, Masai Ujiri kind
I
of
know.
came in from out of nowhere and did a great. And obviously, Toronto goes, hey, by the way, we want you. We'll give you the world.
I don't want to get stuck in initial reaction and what you think is initial reaction. I have said all along, I have told you, if you listen to this radio show, Josh Kroenke plays a more active role in running this team than people think. He's a basketball mind. He played the game. He knows the game. He has all the connections in the game. He is the guy in charge. Now, he has these two gentlemen that work for him, but he's the guy. I don't know how else I can break it down for you.
Well, not to
Now,
mention,
he has other duties. He's got other duties. But when it comes to basketball in the NBA, he's the guy in charge. The end.
You know, it's funny when that was mentioned yesterday, Moj, about the promoting from within. That sounds like the Rockies. I was like, well, the last time the Nuggets promoted from within, they won a championship the following year. So it's actually not like the Rockies at all. At all.
Hold on a second though. Let me put it even more simply than that. And by the way, you said some smart things during the appetizer I want to get to today.
Thank you.
It blew my mind that you actually thought of it on your own, because I'd already thought of it. Talking about the tough divisions and conferences and so on. But I don't know if you've been keeping up on current events lately, ladies and gentlemen. But the Nuggets are winners. They win. They go to the playoffs, and they have a chance to do everything. They've done it once. They can do it again, and probably will do it again. Yeah, I mean, they win. They are winners. Say what you will about the Avs getting bounced by Dallas in the first round. You know what that team is? A team's a winning franchise. It wins, and it has a shot every year, okay?
Let me blast another notion out. I'm so tired of hearing people say,
Well, you know,
oh, my God, Joker's only got so much left. Joker's not going to resign. Oh, Joker's going to get mad. You guys have no clue what the relationship is between Joker, this city, and this team. No clue. You think you do. You have no idea. Shut up. He's fine. He's not going anywhere. Stop talking about it. Shut up.
I think this is a record for shut-ups from Vic in the
I mean,
first
I'm
segment of
just
a show.
so tired of the drama. Oh, my God. One championship under Joker. He's going to leave. Yeah, Nikola Jokic comes off as the guy who's going to just set up shop in Miami with his shades.
All right.